Come expand your spiritual journey. Join us for Just the Talk. Sundays, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Experience Unity Kitchener and Ottawa. Center for Spiritual Living Midtown. Center for Spiritual Living Denver. Unity of Garden Park. New Thought Philadelphia. The Sunshine Cathedral. Unity of Savannah. And the Ohm Center for Spiritual Living. Come unleash your spiritual potential with New Thought Media Network. And now, let's experience New Thought Philadelphia.
So today is the 1st of March, March 1. The title of the talk is And We March. And it's kind of a reminder that time marches on. There's a lot that's going on in the month of March, and like I say, it's just beginning now. We know that spring is going to spring upon us at about the 20th of March. Palm Sunday, which is the last Sunday before Easter, or the beginning of the large celebration for Christianity, is in the end of March. March is also the end of Ramadan. March will also be host to the March 28th No Kings March, which a lot of people are looking forward to protest stuff that's going on in the world that they don't particularly like. So time marches on. And the interesting thing to remember as we are thinking about time marching on and that we are marching is that something is about to happen. Something is about to happen. Something is always about to happen, and we usually don't know what. We usually do not know what is going to happen. A lot of things we have a suspicion about, a lot of things we are able to guess about. Perhaps there are things that we can prepare for, and maybe the timing works out to be exactly what we thought it was going to be, or the timing is a little bit different, but we're prepared anyway. But something is always about to happen. Something is always happening, and sometimes we are more aware of it than other times. Sometimes things happen completely by surprise. Sometimes things unfold in exactly the way that we thought they were going to. A child goes to school, and then some number of years later they graduate from high school. And that's the sort of thing that you can kind of figure is going to happen. Have you ever heard that there are surprising things that happen to children during their growth between the time you know that they're going to go to high school and the time that they get out? Yeah. All sorts of stuff happens. And the important thing to remember through all of it is that everything is an expression of that one infinite creative power. That's the principle behind this New Thought teaching. There is one power, love, intelligence, or force that creates everything, including each of us. And it's really important to remember that. It's the same story regardless of how you think this whole creation thing came into being. Because there's some scripture that says in the beginning there was darkness and void, and God said, let there be light, and there was light. And that is the creative power saying, let there be, and that is the creative law making it be so. And then there were a lot of additional let there be's, and those continue to unfold. So that story in scripture, if you look at it that way, is exactly what we're talking about when we say there's one power, love, intelligence that creates everything, including each of us. Because if the one started with just itself and nothing else, darkness and void and God, and everything is unfolding from that, then everything that exists is that divine essence expressed in its own way. Has to be. That's the story. And that's where we get the reminder of unity and our oneness. If you like another story about science where there's a Big Bang, the story the scientists tell is that there is a singularity 14.2 billion years ago, as close as they can estimate right now. Impossibly dense bit of matter, substance, something. And then for some reason, which we do not understand, it began to expand. We call it the Big Bang because from our perspective it started just as this little tiny thing and it's expanded into a universe, and it's only taken 14 billion years. So that's a pretty big bang. And it's at the very least it was the first bang. But the story is, and the scientists can tell the story about how that all evolved from that release of energy into the formation of the simplest molecules and atoms, and from that in the nuclear furnaces and stellar reactions turned into all of the matter that exists everywhere, that has continued to expand and explode and evolve and recombine itself and reinfold itself into galaxies and planets and life forms and your car. It's all that one. It is all that one power and presence, that one love unfolding, and we are each expressions of it. We're part of it. And the reason I bring that up is because it doesn't matter what your story is. Every religion, every spiritual practice, every tradition has a story. And if you look at it, it is all the story of there was one, and that one began sharing itself, and is continuing to share itself as its creation. And that's the really powerful part of this teaching, is we cut away the rest of the stuff and say, if that creative power has created everything, it's created me, and it's continuing to create, then I'm participating in this creative process because I'm aware of it. So, back to the point that I was making, you are a unique expression, an individualization of that divine creative power. You are God expressed in human form, right now, right here, in everything that you are and everything that you do. And the same thing is true of everyone, everywhere. And we are each guided and motivated and inspired in a way that is uniquely our own. There's no such thing as predestiny. God doesn't want you to do something. Because if God wanted you to do something, you'd do it. There wouldn't be an option. That'd be just the way everything works. And the fact that you are a choice means that there is a choice to be made, and the divine has presented you with that choice. So we're each on our own path. We're each making our own choices. We are each at choice in every moment, in everything that we do. And what do? We march. And we march. We take that next step, and that next step, and that next step. And sometimes we feel like we're trudging along, just being pushed into something that we have to be doing next. And the truth of the matter is that we are each uniquely gifted, self-directed expressions of the infinite. We are creating this next experience according to our beliefs. We are able to change our beliefs, change the experience that we're having, and change what's unfolding. And each of us is different. I mean, we're all in different places. Even if we were in the same room, we would all be in different places and coming from different places and having different paths that we've been on. And everybody with a set of skills, talents, abilities, and perspectives that are unique to us. Some of it's, inborn. Some of it are gifts, when you knew since an early age, well, I really wanted to be a teacher, or I really loved doing this, or dancing is my whole life, or poetry is just what does it for me, helping people. Those are a lot of times baked in. And sometimes there are things that we learn along the way, where somebody sees us and gives us an opportunity, and we learn, oh, I could do that. And that's the way that we find out what the gift is, because it was always there, but now it's been inspired or lit up by somebody else. So we each have our own volition. If you are a phenomenally talented songwriter and you decide that you don't want to write songs, God does not punish you. God just doesn't write any songs through you. It might be a great loss, but we're a choice. We have volition. Pick a direction and march. And we march, and we march, and we march. I'm a lover of pithy sayings, and started out doing quotes and so forth a bunch of years ago. And one of my early ones was, pray and move your feet. God will guide you and your feet will carry you. And it's a two-step process, and it's based on the Friends, the Quakers, say pray and move your feet. But that's an explanation of how it works. It's a partnership. We can pray all we want. If we sit there on the purple pillow praying for guidance and we don't actually move anywhere, nothing's going to happen. We have some participation. That doesn't mean we need to go out and do something immediately. Sometimes the thing to do is to just sit there and be patient and be present. Sometimes the opportunity to take action isn't here yet, in which case if we go and scramble around and try and do something before it's ready to happen, there's a reason for the term half-baked. Pray and move your feet. And God knows what's going to happen. But something unexpected can happen. Says Jesus quoted in our opening prayer earlier, good, better, best. Never let it rest until good becomes better and better becomes best. By staying present to the awareness that you're an expression of the infinite, there's something as wonderful coming forth through and as you. Then as you march forward, there's the possibility of good going to better, going to best. Something unexpected can happen as we march into whatever it is that's coming next. I mentioned a bunch of the events that are going on in March. Another one of them is that my second book finally is going to be released. It's called Daily Spark. It's a compilation. It's a page a day of God calls, basically written in language that fits onto a page. And that kind of built onto my love of pithy quotes into short stories. And a lot of my minister friends look at the God calls and they say, each one of those could be a talk. And you're giving me 4 talk topics every week. So it's a wonderful resource. And some of them can. And not every one of them sings to everybody. But this is, it turns out, one of my gifts is the ability to take something that's completely mundane and find the spiritual, metaphysical truth to it. And this is going to sound like another promo to come attend one of the daily meditations. We do a dozen of them a week. Because I never have an idea when we start the meditation about what the meditation is going to be. I won't say never. Every once in a while I'll go for a walk with my dog and he will teach me something that I then want to share. But it's not like I'm showing up prepared. And what happens is there's a conversation among the people who are there. What's going on for you? Okay, this is something. And there was one that happened a couple of days ago where somebody was having some struggles with work and said, I need patience for stuff going on at work. And Jesus was not there when he has been there, and somebody says they want to pray for patience. He'll say, the Rev's not going to let you do that. Which is correct. I don't like to pray for patience or to learn forgiveness. And the reason is, when you pray for patience, the reason that you know you have it is because you get put at the end of an incredibly long line and you don't kill anybody. And that's really not something to pray for. Same thing with wanting to learn forgiveness. That means that every horrible thing in the world is going to happen, and then you get to forgive it. And yeah, that can be spiritually uplifting and can be a wonderful cleanse, but really, can't we think of a happier way to do that? So the request was for patience. And my observation then was, we don't want patience. Patience has a couple of assumptions in there, like that there's unpleasant stuff going on, and we just need to be present through the unpleasant stuff until it resolves. And so the thought that we had instead was to let go of it. To let go of the attachment to thinking that the unpleasantness needs to be there. To become open and allow. And invite in something new. And it turns out there's a wonderful metaphor for that releasing and inviting process. And it is close as your breath. So the exercise is about breathing out. Because when we breathe in, we're inviting something. We're allowing ourselves to be inspired or uplifted or guided. That's where the invitation. God, tell me what to do. God, let me understand what is mine to do next. And on the exhale is when we let go. That's the release, the surrender, the allowing. It's the making room. And physiologically, there are some important things about your exhale. It activates the parasympathetic nervous system. It actually stimulates your vagus nerve. The inhale kind of is the fight, flight, freeze, fawn. And the exhale is about letting that go. It's about calming down, rest, and digest. The exhale tends to reduce stress and anxiety, especially a long, steady exhale. You can feel it. Take a deep breath now. And breathe out. Nice, deep, slow exhale. Feel it. Yeah. It can lower blood pressure, reduce cortisol levels, and that can happen in seconds. And this is just the physiological stuff. It removes waste gas. Yeah, y'all know that you breathe in oxygen, you breathe out carbon dioxide. And there's a bunch of other stuff that you breathe out as well, because it's stuff that's no longer necessary. That exhale process, probably because of the parasympathetic nervous system, reduces physical tension. You can feel yourself relax. Scrunch up your shoulders, take a deep breath, breathe out, and let your shoulders relax. And notice that they feel more relaxed than they did before you scrunched them up. Breathing out increases your lung efficiency. The depth of your inhale is controlled by the extent of your exhale. So by taking a deep breath out, you actually open yourself to more oxygen in the next breath that comes in. Oh, and here's a fun bonus one. It is also the main component of weight loss. Did you know that? Yeah. The majority of the fat that's burned by the body actually leaves in water vapor and carbon dioxide. So that's how we get rid of excess weight when we're losing weight. So drink plenty of water and do plenty of breathing. And that's just the physiological parts. And you know the psychological parts of it. You know that you can feel how you're feeling relaxed. And there's also value in the exhale. There's tremendous value in the exhale. If you were to have a party balloon in front of you, to be honest, it's a limp little piece of rubber until you exhale, and it becomes a festive party balloon. That does not happen on the inhale. That happens on the exhale. That's an example of a way to bring joy into the world. When somebody's having a medical emergency and CPR is necessary, one of the components of that is mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, the breath of life. And oh, by the way, that happens on the exhale. That gift happens on the exhale. Can you think of anything else that happens on the exhale? Any other value in the exhale? I will give you a hint. I'll give you the one from Scripture first, and then I'll point out that it applies even more than just in Scripture. In John 1:1, it says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God." Have you ever spoken a word while you're not breathing out? I mean, you can do it a little bit on the inhale, but it sounds stupid and doesn't last long. The exhale is where we speak our word. And, see above, your word is creative. So that exhale is you letting that gift that you are come more fully into the world. Oh, well then, I guess there are some possibilities we didn't think of before. As March marches on, perhaps there's an opportunity to speak that word, to share that gift, to be that light, to invite that love, and to participate, to allow that gift that is within to be revealed, to know that God will guide you, and your feet will carry you, and good and more is unfolding. And we march. And so it is.